instead of asking the meaning of particular word किंवा instead of asking the काय म्हणू आपण त्याला the questions which are like म्हणजे काहीतरी असेल तुमचं, rather than this try to understand the system. Now here you are having a lot of questions to ask. म्हणजे you have this chart particularly. The following data fields are to be easily made available in respect of motor management strategies by software used with appropriate interfaces. So this particular say 20, you may have hundreds of parameters, but 20 are listed over here. What are these parameters and what to do this? That is the question. Can anybody tell me? So I have read out these parameters. What is use? What is use of number of overload trips? What is use of number of parameterizations? What is use of motor stop time? What is use of operating hours? Why to store the data about the device operating hours? Why to store the data about the number of starts? Why to store the data or why to see the data number of starts left, number of starts right? Why to say the energy consumption? Individual status message number 29, individual status message 29 number is mentioned. Individual event message 62, individual warning message 33, individual trip message 48, motor current, motor voltage, motor power, watts and volt ampere, motor factor, power factor, time to trip, cool down, last trip. Why these parameters are required? That must be the question you must arise in your mind. And if you are really learning interestly, with interest if you are learning, then and this only those people will have the questions related to this, because of this is the future. This is the future field in which you are going to work. Keep in mind. Nobody asked about this. Why to so? Why these parameters are to be monitored? Can anybody tell me? Attending the lectures, remaining the present, not sufficient. Submitting the assignment, not sufficient. Understanding is more important. Assignment सुद्धा तुम्हाला समजण्यासाठीच देत असतो. So what is this? What particularly the above data is used or made available for what purpose? By using software. That is real time. That is dynamic motor and load data to facilitate predictive motor and load maintenance. This is only giving you the history. These are the parameters only giving you the history, and you may have the further preventive maintenance, preventive data, particularly the load management, further reduction in the downtime. So all this is studied in real time by analyzing all these parameters, so that you will have the increment in the productivity, and that will only increase if your motor is running as per the requirement in the optimal position. These particular parameters are also analyzed for enhancement of the monitoring and protective functions. Enhancement in the monitoring, what to monitor and what to protect, until and unless I don't know. The motor is having individual status signal 29 times. Means what? Motor is having total trip messages 48. What? Then number of overload trips. What? So what happens because of this? Then and then only you can design enhanced monitoring and control system. You will only allow the selected responses to be monitored for the motor. Some responses may not be, but which is to be monitored and which are not to be monitored may be related to motor or related to load condition. We must know, sometimes it may happen in your program you will monitor the unwanted parameters and important or special parameters required you may not able to maintain. Then there is no need of your digitization, there is no need of no use of your PLC or automatic programmable devices, logical controls, zero. So these are all things considered in development of logical controls of the motor control centers. It is also used to give the alert. Alert means special indications before fault is going to be taken place. So alert is important. Okay. Which alert to be considered fast, which alert may be ignored for some time. Every alert is to be attended, but when, that is to be decided. So that also available with this. Alerts must be cause trip or warning. Sometimes you may have warning. So if you continue with the same situation, you may have trip. If you don't continue with situation with alert or with alarm, if you get if you wake up and go behind the problem and solve the problem, you may not have the trip, further trip. So it will simplify your maintenance. It will simplify your loss of machine also sometimes. Because of these machines are very costly. Keep in mind. In industrial, motors खूप मोठ्या मोठ्या आहेत, 100 HP, 200 HP, 250 HP. So like this. You may have tailor-made protective functions for the load. Tailor-made, especially the word used. Tailor-made. You will not think about the tailor-made protective functions means what. You will just go behind the meaning of tailor-made. That is not important. Tailor-made protective functions means a practiced functional system. तुमच्याकडे कपडे असतात. Normally we used to go for ready-made clothes and we used to go to tailor and go for stitching the clothes for us. So which one is more suit to you? कोणते परफेक्ट येतात तुम्हाला? अरे माझा आवाज येत नाही का? अरे झोपले का काय? मग बोला ना, काय तोंड बंद आहेत का? जेवले नाही सकाळपासून? तुम्ही विद्यार्थी आहात का कोण आहात? विचित्र आहे राव तुम्ही सगळे. भालसिंग, अरे बोल ना आयुष्यात एक शब्द तरी. सचिन भालसिंग, आहे का? कुठल्या गोष्टी आहेत त्या? these parameters, सगळं लॉजिक, एंटायर लॉजिक सिस्टम, it is based on these parameters, and that's why it is essential. Your software, strong softwares needed, okay, and interfacing with the devices, and your control, smart control must be there, and you must have analysis of all parameters, and then you can do this. So you must have you may have selected responses, you may have selected alarms, you may have selected alerts, you may have all these alerts about the trip time, shutdown time, status messages, last trip history, reason behind the last trip, cool down period, heating of the machine, parameters related to power factor, parameter related to start, power consumption parameters, voltage parameters, overloading parameters. So all these are studied to enhance the monitoring and control system development. And if you only do that, then your IMCC will be more and more interactive and productive and will be efficient. It is not just to give you alert and do nothing. म्हणजे आता मी तुम्हाला सांगितलं, जाऊ द्या, आता सरांनी सांगितलं, let us forget. So this should not happen like this. These all parameters must be analyzed, all parameters must be studied. You must have your development in logic unit, you must have development in your program, you must have all these to be incorporated, and you may have advanced version. So many times we see that in our softwares also, especially in our apps, rather than the computer software, you know more about the app. App म्हणजे you are using in your mobile. Every 7 to 8 days you need to update. Yes or no? Update करता म्हणजे what you are doing? Why they are updating? What is exactly happening? So these parameters related to the app are analyzed continuously, and they are developing. R&D is continuously going on. They are developing more user friendly, more efficient. त्याला आपण म्हणतो ॲडव्हान्स then advance. मग आपण त्याला म्हणू ॲडव्हान्स 1 2 3 4 version 1 2 3 4 like this. So that is what. So tailor-made protective functions. That tailor-made protective functions means the protective function which is perfect, like your clothes. एकदा सिंप्याने कपडे शिवून दिले की these are the perfect, कारण तो तुमच्या शरीराचं माप घेऊन तो तुम्हाला शिवून देतो, compared to the ready-made clothes. So like this, your protective system must be tailor-made. So that word is tailor-made. तर इथे असं म्हणायचं नाही की प्रोटेक्टिव्ह सिस्टीम सिंप्याने तयार करून दिली. ओके, त्याचं मिनिंग असं आहे की प्रोटेक्टिव्ह सिस्टीम मस्ट बी परफेक्ट, more accurate and more accurate because of considering this parameter, analyzing this parameter, incorporating all these parameters continuously. फक्त एवढेच पॅरामीटर इनकॉर्पोरेट करून चालणार नाही, ते टाकले की पुढचे प्रॉब्लेम्स येतील. Then you have to analyze, then you have to again incorporate, then you have to develop new program, new app, new software, go ahead and go ahead. So that is continuous process. You may have get warning for the development, gathering dynamic information, static information. So all these, select response, relevant inputs, input conditions, feedback, percentage of feedback, output conditions, know the cause of device tripping. Until and unless you don't analyze why device is झाला ट्रिप, ओके, काय हरकत नाही, झाला ना ट्रिप, चला परत चालू करा, झाला ना ट्रिप, करा चालू, झाला ना ट्रिप. So one day will come, your motor will entirely burn, motor will be out of order if you don't think. So what is the reason behind tripping? You must understand reason, cause and causes. That is very important. Reason behind. Until and unless you don't know. Fuse गेला, you have a fuse blown out, चला वायर टाका, परत गेला, परत टाका, परत वायर गेला, परत टाका, 4 वायर टाका, 5 वायर टाका, अख्खा कंडक्टरच टाका. What will happen? So know the cause of device tripping. Know the cause. Why circuit is tripping? Know the cause. एकदा ट्रिप झालं म्हणजे नुसतं तेच करत नाही बसायचं. आपल्याकडे सवय आहे की until and unless total damage is there, you will continue. नाही का? So this will not happen. In industrial cases, you will nobody will. तुम्ही जर असं केलं तर you will kicked out. You will have no place over there. So keep in mind. Device tripping. Start analyzing. Your brain must be analytical brain. Your brain must be analytical brain. What I am saying, it is important. So analyze the things, analyze the parameters, think, and do the development. Enter, incorporate all these. Enter all these in your softwares. Develop software, develop logic. Go for more and more intelligent motor control center. That is required. So system operations governed by secure, that I have also already told you. Secure IP addresses. Why IP address? कोणत्याही गोष्ट सायबर केस